everyone, to another episode of the Adeptus podcast. My name is DK Diamantes. His name is Bricky. We know why you're here. You know why you're here. But before we get into it, if you enjoyed today's episode of the podcast and maybe you want to monetarily support us, head over to patreon.com/Adeptus Ridiculous, where you can get access to the Discord, bloopers if they happen. $15 tier gets you access to all of our posters in crispy digital HD format. And oh, Bricky, there's a new poster today. How do you feel?
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you are going to hate it.
I mean, so it seems like we're doing a double up now because we've got, like, fantasy. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming it's fantasy?
You would be right. Shai,
okay.
do you wanna enlighten him and show him the goods, as it were?
We got a little tool. Oh, Lord.
There you go. Look at that.
Highly requested Croxagore pinup.
Boy, look at that Croxagore. And, like any good Croxagore, he is waiting for you to tell him what to do.
Can I inform something unfortunate here?
Sure. What's up?
My first thought when I saw this was League of Legends.
Ouch.
Yep.
Ooh, wow. Damn, that game hurt you.
Yep, it did. It did.
That game has scarred you greatly.
So there's an old thing called there's a character called Trundle. He has a traditional Trundle splash art that people simp over, despite the fact that he's a troll, and it looks like this. And I hope you understand why my mind went that way, because it's very similar.
You know what? Actually, yeah, now I see that. I see why your mind would immediately go, oh yeah, that reminds me of Trundle. Also, crazy. Trundle sounds like a body part,
Yeah, you're thinking of Grundle.
Oh yes, Trundle's got the Grundle. Yep.
That was the old version from like 2010.
Whoa, so he went from that to that?
Yeah, he had a glow up.
Whoa. Okay, there needs to be a
up.
better word than glow up, because that is way bigger than a glow up. That's crazy. Anyway, it's a poster.
It is a poster. Check it out at orchidate.com. Link in the description. Get all that awesome stuff, as well as all the other cool merch. Apparently, Shai is upset about something or angry at people, which is pretty normal. But
I was going to say, that's 24/7, right?
So Shai's doing that meme of that man standing up in like the old like boardroom or something. But apparently it is topic related. She has a bone to pick with particular commenters, viewers. I don't know, something along those lines.
Okay. You have the floor.
Shai, you have the floor. Holy shit, that's so long. Okay, people asking us why Nachmund Rift and other safe passages through the Cicatrix Maledictum are important at all. Space is 3D, right? So you can just travel up out of the galactic plane, go around the rift, and then go back down. But we will talk about it more in our warp travel episode. But it's basically the same question as if you travel from London to New York. Actually, no, this is a whole warp travel thing. All right. I'm gonna go through the whole thing. You ready, DK?
Hit him. Yeah, I'm ready.
Same question is, if you travel from London to New York, why do you have to travel through the Atlantic Ocean where there are lots of storms and icebergs and not go around hugging the Russian coast to the Alaska through Canada and then down the East Coast? Because it takes way longer. And that's why. In addition, guess what happens when you travel too far outside of the Milky Way? You lose sight of the Astronomicon, get lost in the void of dark space, and die.
Hate that.
Also, ships travel the warp via the flow in warp or warp lanes, like currents in the ocean, which accelerate their movement a great deal. Warp outside of galactic plane is not being fed by minds of sentient beings, therefore it's very calm. Means no demons, but it also means your ship is stuck in still waters with no wind to fill the sails. Ship speed will drop dramatically, and there's a big chance you'll run out of fuel and food and get gutted for meat by your starving crew long before you get back to the Milky Way. To be fair, ships that don't use warp tech, like Necrons or Tau, can more easily leave the Milky Way, but races like Eldar can't leave it because they move via Webway, and its Webway gates just don't exist outside of the galaxy. So, using direct routes where you can still see where you are going, have safe ports along the way, use warp currents to move faster, remain closer to your allies is still the best option for warp travel instead of trying your logistics in dark space with Tyranid hive fleets. Logistics, people! Maybe I too have a little Guilliman in me, just like Bricky and Yvrain.
Oh, that's right, Bricky. You got a little Guilliman in you.
Yeah, a little Yvrain in me, hopefully.
No, you got a little Guilliman in you, just like Yvrain.
That's all right. I'm okay with that. The guy seems nice.
Oh, so you're cool with also being impregnated by Guilliman?
See, I know you were going there, but see,
yeah, I'm sorry. It
was bad.
It was, but like it was set up on a T for me, and it would be remiss of me to
-2.
not. Yes, yeah, I will accept the -2, but again, it would be remiss of me not to take a swing, right? I had to.
No, not really. Just because a -2 is prevalent does not mean it must be acted upon.
I tend to disagree. If that -2 is there and you know it's going to get a reaction, I feel like you are obligated to at least take a swing.
Also, on a total side note, because this is something that comes up when in the Nachmund War a little bit, there is also something in 40k known as the mandival point. And the mandival point is a specific part in the system that you choose to translate in and out of that place. It is the closest distance that a warship can safely enter or exit warp space from its origin or to its destination system, respectively. Okay. Because if you get any if you try to emergency warp escape or enter too close to like a planet, you might just overshoot it and then land in the planet and then die.
Ooh,
a horrible
you don't
death.
want that one. Yeah, you don't want to translate into the planet. Yeah, that'd be bad.
It's kind of like it's like parking your car and walking to the restaurant. You got to park a certain distance away.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to go speeding into the restaurant, stop right at your table, and then Yeah,
this isn't a drive-through. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's how space hulks happen, because too many of the ships enter the mandival point at a weird spot, and then they get clunked together.
Right, they just fuse, and then hooray, the warp.
So, anyway, fun logistics. It's actually a little bit crazy that Games Workshop actually decided to illustrate all this. This is one of those things that normally I think you could be totally like, it's who cares? It's really cool. But I actually kind of neat that they actually did it,
Yeah. So the whole point for this Nachmund Rift Gauntlet is they're trying to save as many people on the other side of the Cicatrix Maledictum. Is that essentially what's going on? And that's why it's so important, because they got to get over there, and there's still colonies and stuff trapped on the other side. Or because I don't think I asked that last time, did I?
You absolutely did ask that last time, but we can work with that. Yeah,
it's good for the review because it's been a week.
So a week. It's not even like a month or anything. It's been a week. It was literally a week ago.
Listen, we're all getting older, man. All right.
I know. I'm aware. I'm fully aware.
All right.
But yes, you are correct. I'm sure, Shai, you have the map probably somewhere ready and available. Obviously the Cicatrix Maledictum cut that galaxy in half, and as far as we can tell, there are two main lanes to make it through. So, it's just damn difficult to make it through. And as we talked about earlier, Vigilus, the big planet that was the main source of all of our discussion last week, has the beautiful Blackstone. Apparently it's in its crust or something, and it's been polarized by, we assume, Necrons. Which is why it's kind of created that little lane, because it just happens to have that there.
Yeah, the old Goatsy lane, right?
The old Goatsy lane, that's right.
Yep.
And there is another one down south, though I think...
Is that one as highly contested?
I'm trying to remember if that one is the one near Ball. No, Ball's up on the other side. No, Ball right now, Ball is having a bad time. They're having a bad time. I think
because there's a devastation of Ball? Or is that a complete... Yeah, that's that? Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, there's a big devastation of Ball, so yeah, I guess Ball probably not in a great spot either.
I thought there was one down south as well. I may be incorrect, but I was pretty positive. Okay. But it's regardless, you really want this thing opened up.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's really bad if you don't.
Yeah.
But all that with being said, as you know, we've had this long fight in Vigilus, and we've had this huge Inquisitor taking over people, torturing a few of them, providing the tender love of the Inquisition as a threat. Love to see it.
The hospitality of the Inquisition.
The hospitality of the Inquisition, exactly. Great stuff there. You know, quite a real guy.
Yeah, what a swell guy. Just.
So basically, as that happens, a few final tidbits arrive in Vigilus before things kind of start to settle down. The biggest one, and hilariously, is that a really big bell chimed a couple of times, and during some of the more crazier parts of the new, I don't know how you say, ragtag fear group that this Inquisitor has made, we get a little bit more of the general holiness themselves. There's kind of an interesting little shtick here. Okay. The Inquisitor guy, I immediately forgot his name. Crap.
It's funny when you said, "Oh yeah, there's a bell that rings a few times." I was like, "Skaven!"
This is how they bring them into 40K.
Skaven are coming into 40K. Oh my god! I genuinely though I don't think Skaven would work in 40K. I don't think they're necessary at all.
Cardivolnus. That's right. That's his name. Inquisitor Cardivolnus was noticing a pretty fancy little effect going on right now. It's like not real space. The warp is kind of like has these little questing tendrils making its way around this area. Like, it's really trying to seal this place up. But as he created this ragtag group of crazed zeal and fear, this is kind of like calming it a little bit. You know, the level of like Saint Calgar, Saint Marnius Calgar, the chapter master of the Ultramarines, and the fervor here, the priests and the sisters of battle, and this new zeal, like Puritan Inquisitor, all of them coming together. It's like kind of calming things a little bit.
Okay. So, got it.
Because we know what happens when you have a whole planet that's dedicated to faith in the Emperor and faith in the cause, right?
Only good things, obviously.
Well,
only good things.
Depending on who's the main character.
Depending on your definition of good.
Or if this is an Eldar book, you know, antagonist, protagonist. But with that fanatic zeal, the real space, you know, kind of relaxing a little bit, a toll of a bell hit 3 times, and bada bing, bada boom, guess whose angelic figure just bursts out of nowhere.
I have no idea who.
So, in fairness, there are a lot of angelic figures in
there's like the Sanguinor, there's the Sanguinary Guard. Didn't they just get new minis today or something?
They did. They took away our nipples.
Again?
I saw a tweet, and I think it was Brad from Porn Podcast, and he's like, "We're getting rid of the nipples for Sanguinary Guard, but we're keeping the Howling Banshee belly button armor. Equal thirst, GW."
It's fair. That's fair. But they do have those cool wings on their jetpacks now.
No, they don't.
Little angel wings.
No, they don't. They took them away.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
They're totally still there, aren't they?
Nope.
Oh, well, damn that. Oh, I guess I saw the
no
old
more
one
angel wings. Yeah, you saw the old ones. There are no more angel wings on their jetpack. It's very sad.
Okay, that is way, way worse than the nipple thing.
Okay, well, I guess they have this little painted angel.
Yeah, they got those little things on the back there.
It's so much worse. It's so much worse.
Yeah, it is. It
is so much worse comparatively.
Yeah. Are they the ones that show up?
No, it's Celestine.
Oh, of course it's Celestine.
Of course it's Celestine.
I was going to say, I wouldn't have guessed Celestine because you didn't sound excited enough.
Well, I mean, Celestine just kind of showing up and ruining people is just kind of her MO.
True.
You know,
that's what she does, right? She just shows up in your time of greatest need, and hooray, it's Celestine.
I mean, pretty much, and that's basically
just like the Sanguinor.
Just like the Sanguinor. It's basically what happened. Celestine arrived and put all these heretics to the sword, and then was like, hey, other canoness and various other members of the Sisters of Battle, now that Celestine is here and like the entire planet has become this insane religious like fervor because holy crap, Celestine is here. It's like, hey, this little area down here, down in this other continent, I forget the name of the continent, Dontoria, they're all lost. So let's burn it to the absolute ground. So,
all right.
They go to the continent of Dontoria and literally raze the entire continent to the ground. All the sisters burn the damn thing to complete ash and are like, and it is seen from space and from the other continents as a flaming horizon.
Wow. So they efficiently just burned a continent because it was just lost anyway. There's no salvaging it. We can't save it. Ash and dust.
Radioactive. Sorry.
Thank you. I was hoping you were going to go there.
Thank
I was
you.
like, I didn't do it to a tune, but
maybe you're right. Maybe even if it is a -2, we have to say it sometimes.
Yeah, see, you gotta take a swing.
It's like 50-50.
You gotta take a swing, man. It's right there. It's sitting right there. You gotta.
Anyway. Yes, so this, I mean, she basically told the canoness leading an entire contingent of Sisters of the Bloody Rose, Celestine herself, to burn this place to the ground. Like, of course they did that.
Oh yeah, I guess if Celestine says to the Sisters of Battle, do this, it doesn't matter what it is, you're doing it. No questions asked.
So Vigilus, at this point, basically is chilling. The Imperial command begins to reunite, get their discipline back. The churches actually end up wielding a lot more power here than most of the AdMech and the planetary governors. Mm-hmm. Space Marines are besides the Black Templar, that is, we're a little bit like wary about the surge of like massive faith, but it worked. So like, hey, that's cool. Because doing like a Saint Calgar is kind of weird for them. But even so, where Calgar, yeah, I mean, it worked out, no doubt. But everyone besides the Templars were like, ugh, it's a little weird. Where Calgar died, they became the new capital, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
However,
so things are looking up. We're good.
Things are looking up for Vigilus. Vigilus itself is working its way forward. The warp is kind of receding a little bit. We're living life.
Okay, cool.
Then we get to part 2.
Oh no. All right. What is it? What are they actually on a Necron tomb world? Because that's where all the stuff came from, and then they all wake up and hooray! Now we have the Necrons to deal with.
Yes, you beat me to it, Shy. I was about to read Harry's quote. Oh, Harry. Oh, Harry. So, the next part of this is Warzone Nachmund again. This is known as the Rift War. Heed my words. Hear each and every one. The Nachmund Gauntlet belongs to the despoiler. He has decreed it so. To me, he has given the task of claiming it. To me, he has entrusted the mightiest fleet and the mightiest army. Countless millions now follow my command. And my commands are this: destroy, seize, enslave, kill. You simpering weaklings of the Imperium will see the towers of your cathedrals toppled, your cities burned to the ground, and your worlds turned over to the stuff of chaos. You will tremble, you will cry, you will shit and come. You will beg for relief that shall never come. You will plead for a mercy we will never give. I am Haarken Worldclaimer, herald of the apocalypse and mouthpiece of Abaddon. I am your doom. I am coming.
Oh, hell yeah, Harry. Let's go, Harry. Our boy, we love it. Hey, he's coming.
Herald.
Yep, he is the herald of the despoiler, and he is coming. Right,
he is coming.
Like, with all this destruction that he is heralding and all the doom he's proclaiming. Man, he's eating good tonight.
Herald Worldclaimer, or I guess it's Haarken Worldclaimer. Herald of the Apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy.
Him. He's what a Chad.
What a Chad. So, in the wake of Vigilus doing somewhat okay, good old Harry here Herald has been given a fleet by Abaddon, and I'm talking a fleet. I'm not sure exactly like if this is just the writers in GW wanting to up the scale, or multiple writers kind of going back and forth and having difficulty understanding numbers, because as we know, they don't understand numbers.
Yeah.
This fleet is like double the size of the fleet that took Cadia. Which which like sounds crazy, but I'm kind of leaving that up to just like the fleet that is attacking the Nachmund Gauntlet here is double the size of like the 5-book series of Cadia in this 30-page like little rule book. I'm like, let's.
Wow, yeah, that's probably them just misunderstanding numbers and
yeah.
And hey, he didn't give Harry any Blackstone fortresses to throw, so it's a little different.
True.
A little different.
So, what Herald has with this enormous force is that Vigilus is chilling a little bit, but in reality, the planet matters not a ton for Abaddon's full picture. What he's looking more to do is isolate and conquer every other world around. And the first step of this is getting the Night World Dharrovar. Now, let me tell you about the Night World of Dharrovar, DK.
Okay. The Night World. Sounds like a lovely place to just, summer vacation to. Yeah,
there it is. It looks beautiful, yeah?
Oh, yeah, that looks like, wow, when can we visit? Holy. That's just like Planet Evil.
Planet Evil.
It's what it is.
So Dharrovar is kind of hilarious. I won't lie though, you got to check these out. I'm going to screenshot these.
Okay.
The members of Dharrovar are really cool looking. You've got that Chaos Knight helmet there, and then you've got the I think the High Queen on the other side.
Oh, yeah. That's really dope. That's so
really
sick.
cool.
Let's go. Very fitting for Planet Evil, sure.
So the Night World of Dharrovar is a Chaos Night World that is heralded to House Mandragore. Not Mandragore or Landagore, which sounds like the flayed one guy. It's House Mandragore.
And when you say Chaos Knight planet, you mean they make Chaos Knights there, not like it is a just complete like darkness world. So it is a quote planet that's always in night.
Night with a K.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Now House Mandragore is a fascinating house.
Okay.
So they turned traitor during the Horus Heresy. When the Horus was defeated, they ran back and were expecting Imperial vengeance, and it never arrived. Then they destroyed all evidence of betrayal, and they were insanely paranoid. And they became what's the phrase where like you're like almost like shut-ins, you know?
Okay, yeah, they closeted themselves off. Okay.
So they rebuilt their forces, often with the help of some heretics folks, and they just never rediscovered them over the past 10,000 years until they started like navigating Nachmund again. Originally, the Imperials extended a hand towards the Night House, not realizing their treachery. However, because after so long they were like just covered in such generational fear and paranoia, they freaked the hell out and was like, this had to be a ruse, and they immediately started destroying the emissaries and attacking the shipping lanes.
Oh, so in their paranoia, they actually gave themselves away because they were too scared that they had already been found out. So they just killed the emissary and were like, oh, whew, now they'll never find out. And really the Imperium was like, okay, you're chaos.
Shai, that is one of the coolest photos I think I've ever seen.
Oh.
Like
yeah, that is pretty dope.
Like all of the serfs with the shields and the mauls, and you've got like the terror raptors flying around, and that's so cool.
That is pretty dope.
GW
usually doesn't miss with the art, to be fair.
No, they really don't. But regardless, in order to kind of keep their safety, they made deals and pacts with Chaos Space Marines. They didn't really see any kind of redemption in this thing, so they decided to do their best to keep themselves, strong. However, because they were so scared of losing their wealth and power, the nobles, that is, very often the families arranged marriages between closer relatives.
Oh, yuck.
And so the High Queen and High King of House Mandracar are, in fact, siblings. This level of inbreeding has actually afflicted the nobles with this physical sickness. However, it has made their psychic abilities extremely more potent. So badly has the inbreeding gotten by the nobles is that most of the times they don't leave their knights. They stay in the Throne Mechanicum, for the most part, too crippled to leave. And the particularly stupid inbred Hicks have actually taken the worship of Nurgle to help save them from their disabilities, whereas the ones that are more intelligent tend to lead towards Tzeentch.
That is actually fair. If you are just yeah.
So the person...
Imagine there being a plus side to... it's like, hooray, my psychic power, so much greater. Oh, but my wife is my sister.
I mean, in fairness, this is like 10,000 generational years. I'm sure they don't care anymore. But yes, their symbol goes really hard.
Oh, yes, it does. God damn.
And I believe it's assumed that, like I said earlier, the picture up there is the High Queen. And as you can see, even with all the stuff in her face, yeah, she's not looking great.
No, she's real. Yeah, nope. No, She could use a day off.
You know what? I agree, man. I've been really liking my days off.
Bricky, that's the road you were heading down before you took, you were like, hey, I gotta take a few days off. That's what you were becoming, my friend. I'm so happy for you that you finally found the way. Accurate
image of a 25-year-old night shift worker.
Yeah, actually, yeah. In a factory.
So, good old Herald wants to take back this night world and relieve them and bring them towards his side. Now, with that, the Imperials are kind of aware of this type of thing, and so there is a Marine chapter known as the Castellans of the Rift that were given the assignment from Guilliman in order to keep this place safe from all kinds of shenanigans. Realizing this being an issue, they have done their absolute best to stop. Once they realize Dharrovar and stuff, they have done their absolute best to stop Dharrovar from being a play in this world.
Okay. So they're getting to work. They're doing their damn thing.
They are doing their damn thing. That is very true.
Okay.
And so with this, the Imperials are like, okay, gotta stop this. This is a problem. We gotta deal with it. So they take a large ensemble of Imperial forces and make their way to Dharrovar, which is a little tough because it is right on the edge of the Great Rift. And so the rift is kind of seeping a little bit, So, huge Imperial force goes to Dharrovar. Things don't go great. Turns out, because it's right by the Warp Rift, Dharrovar is naturally just covered in nothing but random inhospitable warp stuff, and it turns into not trench warfare, but just basically a complete standstill. Dharrovar doesn't have enough forces to just completely wipe out the Imperials, and the Imperials can't get enough ground because of how inhospitable the terrain is. Okay. Life just kind of blows.
It is a stalemate, unfortunately for them.
It is a stalemate. Now, Harken, expecting this and planning this thing, was like, you know what? I actually don't really need Dharrovar. It's kind of whatever, because I've got this enormous force right now. However, I'm using it to break the Imperials down because they're in Dharrovar, and I'm going to use it to just absolutely crush them. Okay. So he takes a large amount of starter splinter fleet, sends them out, destroys anything in his way that might slow him down, calls upon his saboteurs and spies and sleeper agents, anywhere that can, anywhere that could slow his advance, basically.
Okay.
And as he gets there, let's just say, like, it is an absolute just. I mean, you know how we have Pyrrhic Imperial defeat or victories?
Yeah.
This is crushing Imperial defeat.
Oh,
this is chaos dub incarnate.
Oh, but does he just kill all of them? Does he just slaughter everything that isn't chaos?
He arrives in the mandival point and basically just like it is such a gigantic fleet. Even the Space Marines are looking up at like looking like the Willem Dafoe looking up kind of meme, you know?
They're just shadowed completely. Oh, no.
Absolute insanity. Like an amount of folks. Like the World Eaters arrive. Of course, they have their Ursus claws and they overboard them. The Night Lords broadcast dying screams of hundreds of their slaves to cripple the astropaths and stop communication. Literally possessed chaos ships just like eat other ships and like maul and gnash yummers.
Yummers, bro.
Yummers. It was a totally doomed battle. And of course, naturally, the Imperium did plenty of martyrdom stuff. They were like, oh, we're getting eaten by a ship. We're going to blow all the engine cores and take it with us.
Self-destruct. Yeah.
That kind of stuff. But for the most part, like all the frontliners and all of the what were they called again? Their name eludes me because it's so generic. Castellans of the Rift.
Yeah.
Castellans of the Rift basically did their best to hold off and get as many people on the ship. And even the Sisters of Battle were like, all right, yeah, we should probably leave.
Like, should get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
We should get out of here.
Now.
So, yeah, even that, they just did nothing but constant sacrifices of like, all right, hold them off, blow up your own things as much as you can, get off world, this is bad.
Yeesh. So it falls. It is like you said, it is a chaos dub to the extreme. Imperials are dying, running away. Are there survivors that actually make it? Do they, or does Harry get them all? The guy's name is Grix or Gree or something like that. It's Grix, but like I want to call it Gree because I remember in that stupid what's that one video game where it's like Gris, but it's like Gree because it's because it's like French or whatever.
Yeah, I always forget it. So it's Chapter Master.
I never
Grix.
Played it though. I heard it was great. Anyway, unrelated.
It's a indie, a very pretty indie game. It's most likely about depression, and like there's a lot of those. So I get it.
Yeah.
I heard the music's good though.
Yeah.
Anywho, so I mean, he gets off with like a couple of his forces and stuff, but for the most part, the entire Castellans of the Rift are just like totally crushed. The guardsmen are crushed. Everyone's just crushed.
Okay, well, Imperial Pyrrhic defeat.
Yeah, not even Pyrrhic.
I guess there's nothing Pyrrhic about it. Yeah, it's just you got crushed under Harry's boot.
Absolute Imperial devastation.
Yeah, devastating loss, casualties, all well except what's his face, but
yeah. And what's even funnier about this is like all of these giant battles always have some form of Xenos in there, whether it's like orcs or something. Mm-hmm. You want to read this from Shy?
Sure. It has become a symbolic act for Harken upon making planetfall to drive his spear deep into the world's crust and roar out the fell promise that within 8 solar days and nights it will fall. He has yet to be proved false. Whoa, really? Haarken Worldclaimer he's always claimed a world within 80 solar days, always. He's never failed.
I mean, listen.
Yikes.
He's got he's got his plans, you know?
Well, he is Haarken Worldclaimer, right? Like he didn't get that name for nothing, right?
He's on his grind set, all right?
Yeah, he's on his world claiming grind set.
All right. Listen, if you wait 1 hour after waking up to have your first cup of coffee, nothing can stop you. All right.
Why?
All right. Do your manifestations, okay? Wake up and perform your rituals to the dark gods, all right? Manifest it. I will claim a world today. I will do it. It's not about whether or not like I want to do it. I will claim this world today.
Do it, yeah.
And then after that, make sure you hit 20 minutes on the stair stepper and 30 minutes of weight training, and then have only one glass of water during that time to prove mental toughness. Okay, Herald Worldclaimer, Sigma grind.
Damn, I'm waiting for the catalog to show up about the Herald Worldclaimer Sigma conference or something. It was motivational speaker conference by Herald Worldclaimer. That's what I'm waiting for. Harken.
His name is Harken. His has a special rule in the game called Head Taker, but in reality, he's a bag maker. All right, he's got his Hell Spear and Herald's Talon. All right, set to the level 11, also known as set to gain. He leads Raptors, also known as his posse.
There's a part of me that wishes we could make Herald Bag Claimer merch.
Herald Bag Claimer. He's just there with like the pimped out glasses, like laying on a throne of money.
Maybe laying down like Breaking Bad style, laying down on the money, just like with his hands on his chest and like the stunner shades, just like Herald Bag Claimer, baby.
Let me tell you, you want to join chaos? That's cool and all, but let me tell you a little bit about crypto.
Oh no. Harken would totally. Oh, let me hearken to you about bitcoins.
Yeah. Anyway, so Harken, after making his gains on the Ethereum blockchain, he decided to head out over, taking Dharrovar and all. Oh, not Dharrovar, Mandracore, the people on Dharrovar. And it says barely a fifth of the Imperial forces got off of Dharrovar. No respite. Hilariously, just for the sake of it, there's always like a Xenos group somewhere in here. Turns out the Jukari were just kind of chilling, and they were like, oh shit, hell yeah, 4 retreating Imperial vessels.
Oh no. Oh no.
Fill the slave holes.
Oh no. Imagine like, oh god, thank God we got off Mandracore. Boy, what a mess that was. Oh, we're one of the few to survive. Great. And it's like, sir, we have Jukari ships translating in, and it's like, oh no! Bad to worse.
That's the end of it.
Oh no! You almost wish you had gotten killed by Harry.
So, the main final fight that really shows off like the somewhat finality bit of where we're at right here is the fight between Harken as well as one of the Lord Admirals of the Imperial, Lord Admiral Prisca. So Harken is basically taking his group and he's just out there murdering. All right. He's like, sick, plunder this world for slaves and supplies, send 1,000 Suns band to attack the warp route and like deal with all these other folks, have another world fall beneath the class, or not fall beneath, but like send like the world leaders after it and have them butcher it up. Classic fun stuff. Even one of them was them like arriving to a world and like cutting communications, and then I think it was like some world that didn't know what was going on, and it's like, oh, the angels of death here are here to save us, yay!
Oh, you poor bastards!
Lot of stuff like that.
Poor sweet summer child.
Yeah, so demons infesting the planet, just great stuff, right?
Oh yeah, happy, joy.
Great stuff. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's right. Worlds, some worlds surrendered. They liberated Imperial worlds from Xenos invaders, making the citizens think they were the angels of death. That's right.
Oh no.
Great stuff. So Lord Admiral Prisca had the idea to lead a ragtag group into Harken's fleet, a strong, like pyramid strike force to just push into it and do their absolute best as a suicide mission to hold time for something they call the Sanctus Wall, which is basically a gigantic armada blockade of sorts.
Oh, okay. Damn.
So she gathers as many ragtag units as she can. Sisters of Battle, Space Marines, large amounts of ships, and creates this triangle. And the goal, like I mentioned already, is to send it piercing down Harken's fleet. It's called the Battle for the Narrow.
Okay.
Now, this included all kinds. I mean, this is like pure guerrilla warfare at this point. Void mines, vox jammers, fire ships, etc. There are all kinds of other types of disruptions that she throws out, and said disruptions are meant to not just hurt and do as much damage to Harken as they can, but also kind of turn on the fact that the Chaos Space Marines aren't the most trustworthy bunches.
That's putting it mildly.
Yeah, it's like, hey, okay, we can do all these kind of things to mess with and cause problems for his fleet, but also you turn off all of these different kinds of communication, you make issues like that. Next thing you know, the World Eaters are like, what if we just like killed that guy next to us right now?
Right now, yeah, they're getting a little trigger happy. Korn is really wanting some skulls and some blood to flow, and it's just like, well, there's a 1,000-Sun troop right next to us. We could just...
Yeah. Boom! Axe to the neck. Boom! Axe to the jugular.
Exactly. Just like that. That's exactly how they would say it.
So there are options there, right?
Okay, yeah.
And so she leads this strike force making their way through. And after like days and like actually days of waiting for the traitors to actually make their way to the mandival point, that's when she went full stop and was like, all right, dead center, triangle, hit it in. Start. And then I started blasting.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So what makes this part kind of particularly interesting is that kind of triangle formation was genuinely meant to cut a path down the center. And by cutting a path down the center, both sides were isolated. Not that communications isn't necessarily cut, but they do have vox jammers. And so they're very much disorganized. As we know, a traitor fleet is not a unified force. It is a collection of war bands come together.
That are barely holding on to some form of unity.
Killing the traitors was secondary. Staying alive was the most important thing. It was all about buying time for the blockade of the Sanctus Wall to get set up and keep not only Vigilus, but the Nachmund Gauntlet, goat seed for the Indomitus Crusade on its way.
I'm never going to look at this place the same again.
I know. Well, it's okay.
Yeah, never going
to... sorry. It just made me laugh. It was stupid. Don't worry about it. You know the Indomitus Crusade, right?
It sure sounds familiar.
Okay, so the Indomitus Crusade was basically like the next step. We'll talk about this another day, but just to explain, this was the next step that occurred after the fall of Cadia. This was the crack in the galaxy, and then the resurrection of Guilliman. And because of that, This is basically the multi-fleet crusade led by Guilliman himself to reclaim the other side of the gauntlet.
Okay, cool. Whatever he could from the other side. Okay, that's the Indomitus Crusade. Got it.
Yeah,
So Nachmund really important to that.
Yeah, he wants to get to the other side and save everyone.
Gotcha. For him, he really wants that. For the Indomitus Crusade to work, you kind of need the Nachmund Gauntlet.
The Indomitus Crusade is still currently ongoing, by the way. In 40K.
There's a lot of territory to cover. I don't imagine he's going to be done with that anytime soon.
Honestly, it's almost used as like a long-term story beat where often the Indomitus Crusade arrives in the nick of time and is able to help,
Okay. They're sort of the
happens a lot.
They're sort of the Deus Ex Machina. They're sort of the ghost in the machine. They're used as like look, they just happened to arrive and solve all the problems. Hooray!
A little bit of that sometimes. But the Indomitus Crusade, like, I think it was at the beginning of 9th or maybe the beginning of 8th. It was the Indomitus box set, and it was like you got like Guilliman and like Death Guard, and it's a whole thing. So Admiral or Lord Admiral Prisca completely jumped in, did their very best to survive the long as they can, exploit all of the ridiculous like entropy or whatever backstabbing of the Chaos Fleet, prolong as much as possible, and surprisingly killed a decent amount. Harken was like, shit, I'm gonna add that to my next self-help book.
My next motivational speech, I'm gonna talk about that. Absolutely.
You will become a gazillionaire. You will take over the Nachmund Gauntlet. You will crush the Imperial's ability to tax you.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, Harken. I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you.
So, despite all of this, Harken and his immense fleet still absolutely did not fold. They took a lot of casualties, but not like casualties that would actually make a large difference.
Yeah, it's not like they're suddenly retreating back into the warp or something. They are still going strong.
Yes, and so they eventually pincered surrounded Prisca's fleet and just ate it alive bit by bit.
Oof. Her strategy kind of worked, but nope.
Yes, it is. Well, it did. Oh, that's the thing. It did work in a way. Prisca's fleet had been absolutely demolished wholesale, complete and utter defeat in terms of damage.
Yeah.
However, any kill that they racked up often did not work very well either, because any Imperial ship that was destroyed was often taken over by Chaos and retrofitted back into their fleet. So the kills didn't much matter. That being said, the Sanctus Wall did get their time. They survived long enough, and eventually the Indomitus Crusade fleet arrived to reinforce the Sanctus Wall and keep them up, along with the Crusade battle group, in order to keep things going. Part of the Indomitus Crusade, not like Guilliman himself. But,
yeah. So, Imperial Pyrrhic victory.
Not necessarily.
I guess not quite, because
So the thing is that the Rift War doesn't end with like Chaos leaving with their tails between their legs. Mm-hmm. It leads with I'm actually pretty sure it leads with Harken being like, neat. There's what a giant new fleet at the Sanctus Wall. Everybody, make warp junk to the Sanctus Wall. Let's fuck them up.
Oh, so the Indomitus Crusade shows up, big fleet, and he's just like, oh, well, that looks like fun, and he just rams it head first?
Well, so jumping too far ahead, you missed the mandival point, DK.
Oh, sorry. I did. I've gone clear past it. I'm a Space Hulk. I've merged with something way too far ahead. I am just overflowing with chaos and tyranids, and oh, man.
Can you imagine
damn astropaths?
Can you imagine an overzealous, like, Imperial Navy ship that, like, warp translates too close and then arrives, like, in the planet? Wait, what a wait a minute.
That must have happened to someone. Like, there must be some crazy stories about, like, oh, yeah, we really want to get into it, and...
I just had the coolest idea ever. Chaos. During the Horus Heresy or some time, Chaos adjusted the communication of a large contingent of mandival points in this system. So when a huge Imperial fleet arrived, half of them translated into the planet itself. And so this new planet is now a hive world, but its hive structures are actually large class battleships, straight halfway in the ground, straight sticking upright, like giant hairs into the sky.
A hive world made out of Imperial ships that have accidentally translated into the... Dude, that would be dope.
Into the ground.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
That'd be so cool.
Oh, that'd be so badass. That is the coolest thing ever.
All right, there's a new idea. Ship it.
Hell yeah.
Ship it.
Yep.
Anyway, despite all of this, Admiral Prisca did buy time for the Crusade to arrive and reinforce Sanctus. This allowed the Narrow to be a bit like, the delay they caused in the Narrow allowed it to keep a few Imperial forces here and there. A couple of them made their way back to the actual Sanctus Wall, telling of their defeat, quote unquote defeat, but also like kind of victory, but also kind of defeat.
Yeah. They did what they set out to do. They're just all dead.
Harken, in a weird display of not Sigma male, decided not to take any prizes initially from the Imperials. He delved it out along his other hosts, which is both good and bad. It's good because it's like, hey, this might redouble loyalty, but it also might show he's kind of weak for not taking his prizes.
Okay.
But he did take one prize. He was able to recover Admiral Prisca herself.
Oh, she survived this? Is she not dead?
She herself is still alive.
He takes her prisoner?
Yes, she is in one of his torture cells. And he will get to learn everything he possibly can from her. And will because they really were happy with how Prisca did this, she was named a saint, and they gave her a battleship in her honor. So when it's time, he's going to basically just broadcast her horrifying screams and face across the world to be like, yeah, that saint that you said survived and everything, I've been torturing her for years. Ha ha ha.
Oh man. So, oh boy, she is not. So she's probably not thrilled that she survived. She probably wanted to, I'm surprised she didn't finish the job herself, knowing full well what would happen if anyone found her.
Take the coward's way out, as they say it.
Something like that. Yeah. It's better than being in Herald Worldclaimer's torture cell.
It very much is. I would agree. But unfortunately not. She has been taken. And at the point here, Harken is like, all right, the Sanctus Wall, here it is. He has crossed the gauntlet. The wall is within reach. Once it falls, he will be able to completely cut off the world. And now onwards. And we'll see what happens next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
You blue balling son of a bitch.
GW. I wasn't the one who blue balled you. Like this is the end of the Rift War.
Oh,
this book came out like a year ago. It's particularly recent.
Oh, so that is just that's where the book ends. There's nothing more yet.
Oh yeah, we're done.
Oh, I thought you were just like, oh yeah, I'll tell you what happens next time. Oh, damn it, GW.
Well, if there is something more, Shai has not revealed this to me yet.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry, Shai. I was about to get to Bade.
Bade? Okay.
That was the one thing we had to chat about. So at the moment, right, for the most part, this is like the little Nachmund story. This is the importance, and more so than anything, this battle is just to reinforce the importance of things like shipping lanes, the importance of like traveling in the warp and all that kind of fun jazz.
Mm-hmm.
As you said before, there's always a little bit of a Xenos presence. So, you remember our friend Urian Rakarth, right?
The name is super familiar.
Okay, that's fine.
Urian Rakarth.
Head homunculus of the covens.
Oh, right. I remember we did talk about him because I was like, oh yeah, this is not Uriel Ventress, right? It's like, no, this is Urian.
Urian Rakarth.
Urian, right. Okay.
So he arrived at the Nachmund Gauntlet because he was looking for new flesh.
Oh no!
I know, right?
Oh no!
I know. So he found actually a world, huge one, like billions. I think it's like 25 billion people.
Okay.
Enormous amount of people, and clearly they were not clearly, but they were isolated from the conflict between the Imperials and the Chaos, and he was like, you know what? I don't want to just like steal them. That's not really fun. I want them to willingly join me. So he cut all communications from the planet. They actually use torture engines connecting to nulls like blanks and amplified it to extend over the planet.
Oh, yeah.
He then baited an orc fleet to the planet. Now the humans fought it without any assistance. The orc invasion killed quite a few humans, but that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. No big deal.
The humans became desperate enough to accept his help. And so he arrived and made sure, don't get me wrong, that his least liked friends were on the front lines of the battle, because this is the Jukari we're talking about.
Yep.
Eventually, they were able to take out and destroy most of the orcs, and the Imperial defenders were extremely thankful for this. They earned the humans' trust, and the planetary governor was just, like, Urian was honored by the planetary governor. So Urian was like, hey, governor, clearly this is a bad spot for you. Let's relocate the population of Bade to my homeworld, where you will be able to be free from the orcs and other threats.
I mean, he's not technically wrong. You probably will be free from orc and other threats on his homeworld.
So they agreed to his offer, and in the next few months, the Jukari transported billions of humans to Kamara. Eventually, the planet was empty, and the orcs took it over.
Of course they did. Sure.
What a guy.
What a guy. Wow. Oh, man. So the orcs have the planet. He's got a literal planet of slaves that are now in Kamara and in the fighting pits or in the homunculi covens or whatever it is they do with human slaves that I don't want to know about. Oh, that sucks. I mean, cheeky of him, but what an asshole.
I love...
Oh my God.
Yeah, once in the Dark City, all pretense of friendship was dropped, and great horrors were enacted upon the hapless human refugees.
Oh, well, I had no idea. I thought they offered them tea and cookies.
Can you imagine, like being Urian and having this work and pay off, and you're like, sick, bro, 20 billion subjects. Yeah. Maybe like 15 billion. I'm sure a lot of them died in the Orc War, but
true,
like,
yeah, but
billions of subjects.
Yep. Oh man, can you imagine being one of the subjects? It's like, oh, everything is going so great. No more orcs to worry about. We're going to a lovely new place. What is this place? Like, as soon as you look out the window, it's like, oh no, we've been had. Like, as soon as you even get a glimpse of Kamara, it's like, oh, we're screwed.
Yep. It's lovely. It's just such a Jukari thing to do.
Oh, it's so a Jukari thing to do. Yep.
They're so awful. Yeah, the orcs are probably like, where are all the humies? Like, what the hell?
The orcs might be the most upset about this whole thing because they just got to take the planet without fighting. They missed out on all the crumpin'.
Yeah, but now I guess they're in a better spot. Now they can do more crumpin' somewhere else.
True.
What a time. I love.
Oh, Jukari.
I gotta be honest. Ever since that Jukari book, I guess it's an orc book, but ever since the Big Daka, I've had such a bigger fondness for the Jukari. They're just like, they're such assholes, but they
really are.
They remind me a lot of like the Imperials at times, where they're just like, but they're so pompous about it. They're just like
they're so matter of fact about it. Like, it's not even a big deal to them.
Yeah, they were like in the gladiatorial pits watching, and then like they had like a human slave just on the table. It's like, ooh, carve a piece of meat, shall we?
Yeah, the human on the table is just a charcuterie board for them. Just like, oh yeah, little slice of skin, maybe a little thigh meat for your palate. It's like, oh.
It's so funny to me. I don't know. It's almost like they become so horribly evil that it's gone to becoming funny. Because it's like so okay, totally random. You know Ian McDermott, actor who plays Palpatine?
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's so evil, but when you just get that you get him hamming it up in the various Star Wars movies where he's like, oh, I'm positive this Death Star will be quite operational when your friends arrive. Right, he's just like giving Luke shit.
That's the perfect example.
I'm just like, what an ass. He's so great.
Yeah, he is great. That is, oh man.
He has all those voice acting moments where he's just like,
do it.
It's so funny. Anyway, I just keep thinking about that every time I hear about.
He would make a great Jukari.
He would.
He would make a great Jukari. Same
makes
voice,
such a good guy.
same action, same everything. He would fit in great in Kamara.
Ian McDermott as a Jukari homunculus, leader of a coven, would
Perfect.
work.
It would fit so well. Oh, absolutely. Sign it up. Make it happen, G-Dub. You've got gobs and gobs of money anyway. Do it. Do it. Do it.
All right. So we've got we've got homunculus coven Palpatine, and we have Sigma grind set Herald Worldclaimer.
If we don't see fan art of at least one of them, what are you even doing? Listen, what are you even doing?
Take the money you spent on replica Destiny guns and put it towards your own fan art.
Well, hey, listen, I've only spent a little bit on replica Destiny gun. Singular. There's only one, and you peer pressured me into buying it.
No, you were like, I want to do this, but I don't know if it's a good idea. And I simply
yeah, you were like, DK, I know how much money you make. You're fine. Do it. And I was like,
I said, brother,
right.
It's time to enjoy yourself. Get some cool stuff.
And I was like, well, fine. Spend
Check
way
out my
more
new
money on Gunpla, dude.
Check out my new book on Audible. How to destroy the Imperial defenses and make $1 billion with these easy steps. The three-step process the three-step process to total Imperial annihilation. How to find the most willing slaves for your dark god rituals.
Yes. Oh man. We've done good work today. We've done good work today. Yeah. Today it was a good day.
Excellent. All right. I'm gonna go repeat my 10 Chaos God affirmations.
Yeah, I need to buy plane tickets so I can go attend the motivational speech by Herald Worldclaimer. Mm-hmm.
You know, they're having the Gary Vaynerchuk fucking crap up in Los Angeles lately, and I'm like, I just can't imagine if it's like Herald Worldclaimer's up on stage. It's like, you will kill the Imperials. You will serve chaos. You'll get the favor of not one, not two, not three, all four gods.
4 gods.
Push the Whopper button. All right, I'm out of here. Peace.
Later.